Welcome to the World on Water Global Sailing News. This week we're at Manly 16-foot Skiff Club on the magnificent waters of Sydney Harbour. Hi, I'm Rob Brown. The last 7 days have been huge. Leading the way, Emirates Team New Zealand are the first in the water with their 75-foot race boats for the 36th America's Cup. We have reports from Auckland, from Live Sail Die, with actual footage of the first tow test, and it's not all plain sailing. We head to the Maxi Yacht Rolex Cup in Sardinia, Italy. We take a look at Gitana 17, Edmund De Rothchild's huge foiling Trimaran. 11th hour racing is starting again in the ocean race. The clipper yachts leave Saint Katharines Dock in London and go through the Tower Bridge down the Thames to the start of their around the world clipper race. And still in the UK, plenty of action at the J70 Nationals. First off, it's over to Auckland, and Chief Designer for Emirates Team New Zealand, Dan Bernasconi, talks about their new creation.
Yeah, I think it's probably the most exciting boat launch that we've had here in Team New Zealand for a long, long time, because it's not only a yacht that we've been working on for well over a year in design and then building, but also it's a class which we just haven't seen before.
So we're just sending out the hull geometry for boat one. It's actually pretty cool because so for Team New Zealand we haven't designed a hull in a long time. So this is the first new hull shape that we'll be building in a couple of campaigns.
You just come in, mate. We're just about to... You can come and sit down because we want to do a bit with it on the computer anyway. 2 months ago we moved into the yard here and we had nothing on the floor. And today we sit here waiting for the lines of our first boat. So the guys are out there in the shed now, ready to start placing a grid on the floor. So once the electronic files come through, all the action starts on the floor.
Probably the hardest, most complex shape we've ever had to plank actually. It's kind of get a lot of thinking going on to get these planks bent in. Some wicked shape.
Yeah, certainly a bit different to the norm in its in shape and form.
Yeah, to date, the boys have been smashing it out. We're pretty pleased to get this far in such a short period, you know.
What we're seeing is that we're maximising our potential as far as what we can do in the time we've got, but ultimately we've got a timeline, and so we're still pushing towards that launch date. We've been hitting a number of milestones in the yard here, and today is probably the biggest one, certainly for the yard, where the boat's actually leaving. We're heading over to the shore base in town.
It's tight.
The trip over the bridge will be something special. It's in the wee hours, obviously, to dodge all the traffic, but ultimately when the team get into the base in the morning, they're going to see something special sitting in the workshop. It's onwards and upwards for the team now, and ultimately for our clients who are going to get their boat very shortly, the sailors, and the chief's going to get a chance to finally go out and play in a playground on the Watermata.
Thank you, man.
Ready, Kelly? You good?
It's another one of those milestone days that you have. It's really just a credit to the guys, I mean, for me and where I sit in the place, I'm just in awe of what they do and really just the energy they have and the skill that they have, and I mean that in all areas of the campaign. So it's their day, and also for the sponsors and the suppliers and the families and the friends of the team.
I named this yacht DI. May God bless everyone who sails on it.
I mean, it's really significant, and Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei is always involved. And we really, when we went to name the boat, but we wanted a new name that was significant to them. and Tiahe is the name they suggested, and is significant to them as, you know, from the Waitemata. So we were really pleased that they came up with that name and named this boat. We'll market. By lunchtime it'll all be back to normal here internally in terms of their jobs, and we'll be back into it.
Sir Alan Hurling of Live, Sail and Die talks to skipper Glenn Ashby about how he's planning to sail this radical boat or rocket ship. And then we take a look at the spy camera footage of the 75-footer being towed for the first time, the bucking Bronco trying to get free.
All right, Glenn Ashby, are you pretty happy with the turnout here this morning?
Yeah, reasonably excited, to be fair. It's been absolutely incredible to see how many people were here this morning, and to put the boat in the water for the first time. It's absolutely sensational, and a real credit to the shore team and the design team and all the guys that have been involved in the build of the boat. Absolutely amazing.
So you rolled the boat out yesterday just to basically tease everybody. The spies were out, photos are going around the world. There's been a lot of talk about the foil arms. Are you happy with them?
Yeah, they're big gear. They're big gear for sure, but they have to take a huge amount of load, and really the whole boat and the crew and everything is really relying on those foil arms to hold us out of the water. So an amazing piece of engineering and kit, really, to be honest, and the foil horizontals as well. They take a huge amount of load, so it's incredible, really, the engineering that's gone into these boats, and to be able to get out in the water in the next few days and sheet that on and test it all is going to be pretty exciting for sure.
What's the thoughts around only one rudder?
Yeah, obviously the one rudder, a little bit less stable than obviously a twin rudder setup, but yeah, a little bit better performance, so a little bit less drag. So I think the one rudder will be pretty cool and make the boats tricky to sail, but trickier to sail than a twin rudder setup. But at the end of the day, the boat's a high performance and high manoeuvrable sort of boat. So we'll hopefully learn how to sail it next year or so.
So there's not many crew that are going to be up on deck. You're hiding the rest in the bow?
Yeah, no, it's pretty tight down there. There's not a whole lot of swinging room. But at the end of the day, it's you don't want to be spread out all over the place. You want to be tight and huddled in there, and aerodynamically, we wanted to keep sort of a lot of the guys out of the breeze. And it's an aircraft once it's airborne, not a boat. So yeah, a lot of work's gone into that side of it for sure.
Are you confident that you're going to be able to get out there and not put it in the piss straight away?
Look, I think the learning curve for us is going to be damn near vertical. I think for the first few weeks, the boats are pretty tippy. They are tippy boats, but at the same time quite stable in many respects as well once you're up and sailing. So I think the slow speed sailing is probably going to be trickier than the high speed sailing, to be honest. And for us, this is our first opportunity to get on the water as a sailing team, honestly, since the last race in Bermuda. So we haven't had a test boat. So this for us is our test boat and our first race boat. So we've got a lot to learn, and I think reality versus virtual reality, which has been indoors, to get out there in real life is going to be super exciting. And for sure there'll be some things that will be slightly different than what we were expecting. But hopefully we've got the right yachties to deal with that, and that intermingling with the design team and the engineers and the builders, that's going to be a really key component to moving forwards with not only this boat but the future boat as well.
The match racing question. Do you reckon you guys are actually going to be able to do proper match racing in the pre-start?
I think honestly these boats are probably going to be one of the best boats ever for match racing, because they will be just so manoeuvrable. Going from displacement to foiling to be able to spin the boat around in a circle. Some of the stuff we've seen on the simulator is incredible what you can do with the boats, and if that is reality what we're seeing, some of those pre-starts are going to be absolutely phenomenal, and the racing itself is obviously going to be spectacular, no question, but the pre-start side of things and the fact that we wanted high engagement in the pre-start was one of the sort of the design concepts, if you like, and I think that's going to be the beauty about these boats, is they're going to look quite docile when they're tied at the dock, but I think when you put it into sport mode, they're going to be pretty aggressive.
So there is a sport mode on board. Is that another button that someone has to push?
Well, hopefully we won't press that one too early. We might put it in rain mode for a little while like we did this morning, just to take it easy. But no, look, there's definitely going to be some learning that we're going to have, and we'll find out what the boat can do over the next few weeks. It's going to be pretty cool.
So what about the short, sharp chop that we have here in Auckland? And do you think the boat's going to be able to cope nicely with just scooting straight over the top of that?
I think even short, sharp chop will largely feel like flat water, when you're doing sort of 30, 40, 45, 50 knots.
You just said 50.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to 50?
Well, we'll see. I think the sky's the limit with these boats. We just, we've seen some pretty incredible numbers on the simulator, but look, it's one of those ones. What you see indoors and what you can do outdoors, we'll have to validate that. It's exciting. We're not going to blow our foot off at this point in time of what the boats will be able to do. But absolutely no question that we're going to need to be wearing some eye protection. That's for sure.
I named this yacht T.I. Head. May God bless everyone who sails on it.
We head to Sardinia, Italy for the Rolex Maxi Yacht Cup. These amazing yachts gracefully go head to head in perfect conditions, once again hosted by Yacht Club Costa Smeralda.
As the Maxi Yacht Rolex Cup continues to both challenge and entertain in the spectacular waters off Porto-Cervo, this edition marks a special 30th anniversary. An impressive milestone in the history of this prestigious regatta that is testament to its remarkable success.
The Maxi Yacht Rolex Cup is an amazing event and a great example of how a sponsor and a yacht club can come together to make something really special.
This has become, in the years, a real iconic event. It's much more than the race.
It's the club, its organization, it's the wind, it's the water, it's the beautiful scenery.
All the owners, they want to be present. And what better event of this one?
So when you add all these factors together, that's what makes this the one event that all the best sailors in the world want to come to.
As the regatta passes its midway point, the competition between all the yachts in their classes is intensifying. Join us again for the exciting finale of the 2019 Maxi Yacht Rolex Cup.
The French are still leading the way in huge trimarans, and the leader of the pack is Gitana 17, Edmund De Rothchild.
La perte de l'étrave, c'est un gros coup au moral. Je pense qu'en reconstruisant le bateau, on se reconstruit aussi.
S'il y a déjà eu une révolution aussi importante dans la voile, c'est beaucoup plus dur qu'une Jaguar. Faut pas croire que ça va être une course facile. Tout le monde disait ça marchera pas le vol au large. Et là on vole vraiment au large, donc c'est fabuleux quoi. On fait pas ça pour la facilité, on sait que ça sera difficile. avec des conditions météo, avec de la tactique, de la stratégie qui va évoluer en permanence, avec des concurrents qui ont du répondant. C'est cette difficulté qui nous anime le matin lorsqu'on se réveille.
Two-time Volvo Ocean Racers Charlie Enright and Mark Towell, co-founders of 1 Degree, announced today that they have formally renewed their sponsorship of 11th Hour Racing for a long-term visionary campaign to contest the 2021-22 Ocean Race.
I'm Mark Towell.
I'm Charlie Enright.
We are two-time round-the-world ocean race veterans.
We have unfinished business. We're back with 11th Hour Racing as our title sponsor, and we're preparing a campaign to enter the ocean race for the 3rd time.
In the next edition, we're going to be racing a Mocha 60s, which are a really high-powered foiling monohull class of boat. It's a development class, which is a big change from the last 2 editions of the ocean race.
We're trying to immerse ourselves in the IMOCA culture, and we've been training here in France for the last 2 months.
For us, with our title sponsor, 11th Hour Racing, we're looking forward to maximizing the opportunity to talk about sustainability and to lead by example.
We're trying to leave this planet a better place for the next generation, and that's something that really resonated with me when I became a father for the first time 4 years ago.
We recognize that what's beneath the ocean's surface connects us all. From the food we eat, the air we breathe, we must strive for vibrant, healthy oceans.
This is the Ocean Hour. Sustainability is at the core of everything our team does. We're guided by 4 major principles: leadership, collaboration, innovation, and legacy.
We're really excited to share the journey with you. We really appreciate your support.
We hope you follow along, and we'll see you on the starting line of the TJV.
"11 around-the-world clipper yachts are competing in this year's race. The relatively unexperienced crews will take on one of the world's toughest ocean races and have paid to do so. We picked them up as they depart Saint Katharines Dock under the Tower Bridge and then down the River Thames to start their first leg of the race to Portugal." Still in the UK, the Darwin Escapes 2019 J70 World Championships is hosted by the Royal Torbay Yacht Club.
Competition's really close, tight. Starts are really hard. The shifts here have been pretty big, side to side. I think today will be a pretty big day. Anything can happen.
We're up to race 10. All the races have been very successful so far. Today we're expecting something very similar to yesterday.
Today's plan is just kind of stay a little conservative again and just get off the line really and not freaking out when things go bad, you know.
It's a big day on the water today. It's the fourth day, it's been full on. Yesterday we had a good 15-20 knots, great playing conditions downwind for J70. It's been great here at the Yacht Club at the Royal Torbay.
The Yacht Club's been really cool hosting the regatta here. Yeah, it's just a bit chilly, but we can deal with this.
Today I think was a little bit easier for sailing because there is less wave. Shifty as normal here. It's very tricky, but of course it's for everybody. So
I think today was a lot better. The shifts were just shorter and more manageable than yesterday. Yesterday was just like random 20-minute oscillations. We found today a lot easier to manage.
For us was at beginning a great day because we scored to third place. In any case, we are here in a beautiful place because Torbay is a big surprise for us. The class is perfect, 80 boats here is beautiful. Tomorrow is an important day. Right now we are 6th in the general score. For sure we will try to not do worse than what we are.
I think we just have to keep it together. It's a big thing for us to come up here and shake it up with 80 or 90 boats, so we just got to keep it together and have some fun.